Morning, everyone. I'm Satish here from Pragyan AI. So today we are trying to start a module-wise session for module machine learning. So as we discussed in the webinar, what we have conducted last time. So this module 4 is only focused on the machine learning. So we'll start with machine learning introduction, and then we will jump into supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and then ensembling and boosting techniques. So all these techniques means like some kind of algorithms here also, like ADA boost, random forest, all those kind of algorithms we'll be looking into. In supervised learning means like regression algorithm, classification algorithm. In unsupervised learning, we will be looking for clustering kind of things. And another thing what we will be looking at is actually associated rules we'll be looking into, and in recommendation systems and time series. So across all these type of algorithms, we'll be covering around 10 machine learning algorithm with the case studies. On 15 case studies, we'll be giving as assignments to the people who are part of the sessions. Like, so we'll be giving few case studies to one person, and they will be discussing in between. So these are the assignments will be overall around 25 case studies will be covered. And the session will be actually like it is total hours. What I'm trying to discuss is actually around minimum is 75 hours and 100 maximum is 100-hour duration, and it will run for 3 to 4 months, and it will end with one mini project. It will have one mini project and one hackathon will be conducting, but that is later on. And we also do one mock interviews, like what kind of questions will be asked on these topics and how you should be understanding. And this is all we will be covering for per model wise. And apart from that, what we will be doing is actually like, since 100 hours is not sufficient for covering machine learning, we will be creating a small videos explaining each algorithm in detail. More practical thing we'll be discussing in the class, but theory sessions, apart from the first theory sessions, rest all theory sessions will be creating a small videos explaining those concepts. And in the class, we will be doing some kind of a development. Like only the first, this session will be the theory sessions. Like later on, all sessions will be theory plus practical. So whatever we are discussing, we will be discussing, and also will be building the model. Only this session is some kind of a theory kind of session, because we need to give the ground up introduction to a lot of terms, and after that, less every sessions will be little bit like a theory. Maybe a lot of videos will be there. You should be watching those videos and you should be attending that. And a lot of practical things, means like we'll be developing the solutions. Like, so whatever we learn, we will be trying to develop it. So what is the initial requirement for this session is actually, we assume that you have comfortable, you are good at Python, NumPy, and Pandas, because this session doesn't cover that, because we assume that we already have a knowledge about those things. Usually, if you are interested in learning NumPy, Pandas, programming, and other things, this model you should have gone through. But since directly machine learning is like, we assume that you are comfortable with NumPy, Pandas, and Python things. And also, like, if you are not comfortable with that, so I will share you the video link where you can look into. So I will share you the YouTube channel link where you can refresh that. So some of the basic things are already available there. So let me share you the video channel link. So you can watch these videos available explaining Google Colab, Kaggle Notebook, Python, and all the basic things about things. You can look into this actually. This is the way you will be having those sessions. Like I'm trying to share here. You can some of the basics of Python. Some brief sessions are taken there. The videos are there. You can look into it. And every sessions, whatever the taking the every sessions and materials will be available in the Google Classroom. And whoever has paid the program fees will be getting the links to the Google Classroom where the materials, videos, and codes, everything will be accessible. Even we are trying to put the books, machine learning related books, whatever the books are available, we are trying to keep there. So you will be giving access to that. So in Google Classroom, what are the things will be there? In Google Classroom, you will be having the video sessions, whatever the recording is there, and the class video recordings and short videos explaining lot of concepts beyond that 100 hours. So short videos will be there. Materials, whatever we are using, materials will be there. And codes, whatever the codes are like, whatever the data, whatever you are using, everything will be available in the Google Classroom. Plus books, some generic books on the machine learning will be available. And this access to this Google Classroom will be provided to the person who are already paid the program fees. The program fees actually it is 10,000, but it is discounted and per thing is like around 5,000 what you should be providing. So and the sessions will be weekly 2 sessions. One is on Sunday, another is on Wednesday. Sunday at 11 a.m. and Wednesday at 7 p.m. And this will be for 3 to 4 months. So any question here? Anybody not understood what is the program, what is the number of hours of sessions, and how I will be covering and materials? Any questions here? And prerequisites for this program. So you should be comfortable with Python, NumPy, and Pandas, and some extent about Google Colab and Kaggle Notebook, because we will be doing a lot of assignment there. And all those things like in some basic information videos are there in this one. You can refresh this. So anybody has any question here? Now we will, if you have any questions, we'll address that, or else like we move to the machine learning introduction session. So anybody has any questions? Okay. So we move to the introduction to machine learning. So what exactly is the machine learning? So so far we have understood what is the programming. So we know what is the program and what is the programming. But all of a sudden, we understood something like another term called machine learning. What is this machine learning? So why we are calling it machine learning? Because we know that we learn. So as a human beings, we learn things from day one. Correct? When we born, we start learning things. So what are the things we learn? We learn how to walk, how to talk, how to communicate, how to stand. All these things we keep on learning. Correct? So we as a baby, like we start doing one small activity and keep on learning and understanding. So because we are intelligent, we human beings are intelligent, that's the reason we learn. So now why we are calling machines also learning? Let us see that like what exactly means are learning. So learning means like a process which a system or animal improves the performance from the experience. What is that means actually? See, for example, initially you don't know anything, but you did some kind of activities. Because of that activities or experience or understanding something, your learning about that is improved. Like for example, if you are trying to travel, maybe you do a lot of mistakes. By doing that mistakes, by doing that experience, you okay, this is not the right way to travel, maybe I have to travel something. Or else like cycling, maybe you do a lot of mistakes and you fell down, and you will understand actually by experience saying that like, okay, maybe this way we cannot cycle, maybe you have to balance something like that and then improve. So it's like a process or a system. By experience, we keep learning and our performance keep improving. That is what the human beings are there. No? So we improve. So what we trying to do, we try to learn. So we try to learn first sitting and then standing and then walking and then crouch. So all these things, activities we keep on learning. So when we learn and then we say actually, okay, we understood and we know how to stand and can walk and run. So this is how the human beings or animals are there. Like who has a life in their thing, they learn actually, keep learning by their experience, or somebody will help you to guide you or mentor you. From their experience, you will be learning. So this is called learning. So now the question comes actually like, well, now why we are calling machine is learning. So now, okay, we understand that the human beings can learn from their experience, but now why we are calling machine also learns actually. So if we have to say machine is also learning, Means like for machine, if you give some kind of a experience, means if by seeing, getting that experience, if machine is trying to learn automatically, I'm not coding. So that is called machine learning. So let us see that a little bit, like see on a diagram, what exactly the programming and what exactly the machine learning. So what exactly, for example, if you are trying to find out a simple thing like housing price. So if you are trying to find out a house price, so a house price, like how exactly we learn how, what is the price of a house. So usually if you are human beings, what we will do, we'll see that like first this house one. So we know what kind of house is this and what is the sale price, what is the price it was sold. So now another house. So we know that what is the features of this house and what price it has sold. So now another house. So means like the person will observe this house and what is the price is sold. Person see that like what type of house is there and what is the price. Based on that, he will start understanding or guessing. So if I give another house of certain kind of characteristics and I will try to find out what is house. This is how human beings start understanding and started predicting or like classifying, because we start learning. So what is the experience here? The experience here is previous information about the house. What is the house? House information, house means like what is the, when it was constructed, how much is the land, how much is the type, what type of house is a villa or flat or something, how much is the construction area and what is the interiors, what is the location. All those inform sorry, all those information you will be looking into, and also what is the price of it was sold. Based on that, based on this is called experience or past information. Based on that, he learns how the value of a house is predicted. So what parameters or what features are very important for predicting house, and based on that, if I give another house, then I'm able to say, okay, approximately this may be the price. This is how we learn. So human beings does. If I give the same thing to the machine, if I give to the same thing to the machine, if machine is able to learn, understand that, then we will say machine is also learning. So what exactly is trying to say is actually, so if we give same kind of information to the machine, like the information about the house and the sales price, and if machine is able to find out what is the price of this house, then his machine is learning. So the only thing, the difference between the human beings and the machine is actually machine doesn't have a sensor organs. So we should be giving, we should not be considering that as experience. We should be giving information in terms of a data. In terms of a data means we should be giving in terms of a data. For example, if I have to give the information about the house, what are the information I will be giving? I will be giving house will, what are the house factors will be there? House will be, so house when it is constructed is the construction date. So construction date. The second is actually type of the house. This is also information about the house, type of the house, and what is the land area, what is the land area, and what is the construction area, and what is the location of the house. So how either, and how what is the interior, or like what kind of materials are used, or all those things actually, interiors or materials of the things, and uh, currently like which year it was sold. So when it was sold and year it was sold and what is the price. So these are the information I will trying to give. So it's like this is a data about the house. If I give data about the 10 to 20 houses actually, so now if I give the data to the machine about this one, and if machine is able to understand how the price of the house is calculated, and next if I give another data without giving the price of that, and the machine is trying to predict the what is the house price, then machine is learning. Because here what I have done is actually, so I am not programmed the logic. So in traditional programming, what we will be doing, so we are not giving the data. Usually in traditional programming, we used to write the program. So it's like, if this is instead of giving the data, what we used to do in the traditional programming, we used to say like, so price is assume that like why the price is dependent on per square feet. Like, so house type of the house maybe some kind of value. So this is a type of the house, like so type of the house maybe flat or something, and this is the multiplication, and location has certain weightage. So assume that like weightage too, or if it is something else, like so when it is constructed, so construction year is another information, and it has weightage 3. So if we are writing the logic to calculate the price based on your logic, so that is a traditional program. So in traditional program, what we used to do, not only the things, whole the logic of that, how to calculate, how to predict the price is written by us. So then this program is written by us. Like, so this is called program. We are writing this program, but and we are writing this logic. And next, what happens actually? So computer will execute this program. So computer doesn't write the logic. Actually, computer just executes the program. And for the program, I am giving the data, means like input information, and the program will give the output. Means like, so if I give new house information, and it will give the output. But the output is how it output is calculated, because I have written the logic. Here, computer has not learned anything. Computer has just executed the my logic or my intelligence, whatever the way I have written the algorithm. But in the machine learning, what we'll be doing, I am not giving any program or logic to the computers. What I am trying to give is actually, I'm trying to give the data, and I am trying to give the output. What is the output here? The housing price. This is the input data. This is the input data. I am trying to give what is the type of the house is actually. I am giving this input data, and now I am giving what is the sales price. This is the output. So this house is sold at this price. So I am giving the input data, and I'm giving the output. That is the price or the label. What I'm trying to say, I'm giving that. So now I'm asking that actually I have given around 10 such data or 10 or 20 such data, and asking the computer to write your own logic. So this logic, whatever I say, no, so y is equal to something, that logic is not written by me. This logic is written by machine. So machine will come up with this logic, and what happens actually? So this logic will be created machine, and next what happens? Like I will be executing this logic. So whatever the logic is there. So computer will first. So how the feedback will be? So computer first will give the program, that is the logic, and later on I will use this logic or that program to find out the new output. So there is a 2 steps will be there in machine learning. There will be 2 steps will be there. What is the first step? First step is actually I am giving the data, and I am giving the output, and I'm saying machine to that like you come up. This is a machine. I'm saying that like you come up the logic. So it will come up the logic, or it will come up the program, or it we call this as a model, machine learning model. So this model will be built. And now next what happens actually, I will execute this model in the machine. So this model will be executed. Now if I give new data, new input, and it will give the output. So this will give the output. So if you think about the traditional programming, so is traditional programming is like we are giving the program, and we are giving input and output. So in machine learning, first it will generate the logic, and after that it will execute the way the traditional. In machine learning, there is 2 steps. First step is building the model, building the logic, building the equation. That is done by the machine learning. And in the second step, it will be as good as the way we execute in the traditional programming. So we will be that logic program will be executed in computer. We will be giving the input, and we will be the output. So that is a difference between that. And why we are calling it machine is learning? Because the same way we also learn, correct? So assume that like instead of this human being, this computer, we are here. So we take this input, what is that house, what type of house, and what kind of things, and we calculate it mentally. We calculate, come up with our own equation, how to find out the price of that. So this logic is automatically done by us actually. And what happens actually? So what exactly happens? This logic of predicting house is automatically calculated or understood by the human beings. It's like if you give some more and more information, then my understanding and prediction is more important. Like for example, why we call this a machine is learning or human is learning? Assume that like if I give only 5 houses information, and then maybe trying to predict the 6th house price actually, we may not be 100%, maybe 60% or 70% were accurate. But if I give around 25 houses information, then if you are asking another one, so 26 information you should be predicting, my logic will be much more better and my accuracy from 60-70% right to it will become 80-85%. It's like as the experience improves, increases actually, my performance increases. It's like if I start looking lower and more houses and their sold price, house and their sales price, and house and their sale price. If I look about more and more data, my performance or accuracy will improve. My logic will improve. Correct? That is how I am learning. So similar to that, if I give more and more data to the computer, and if its computer is coming up building a model, and it is giving the better accuracy when we are trying to test it actually, then we are saying machine is learning. So see, that is how we'll do now. So for example, I say no, usually we'll say, oh, this person is a real estate broker, but he has only have 2 years experience. Means like he has seen only few houses. If I say that, like, why I will say that, like, I have 10 years experience, 20 years, like I have seen 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 kind of house. So that is the reason my prediction will be better. So that is how we'll say that, like, we are expert or we are learned actually. We are very experts in that space, correct? So something similar to that, if you give more and more data to computers and the model what it is built is predicting the output much more accurately, then we are calling machine is learning. Anybody has any question why we call machine is learning? Because there is a similarity between the how our performance improves by seeing experience, getting more experience. Similar to like that, machine also getting exposed to more data, he is also getting experienced and his logic also improves and the prediction also performance also improves. So that is the reason we call machine is also learning. Is it anybody's any question here? Anybody is not understood why we are calling machine is also learning? Any questions? See, the statement is actually if you want to see let us see the formal definition of machine learning. So it is a field of a study that gives ability to the computer to self-learn without being explicitly programmed. So here we are not programming. So this is program, the logic or the equation to predict the house or whatever it may be is automatically done by the machine. So I'm not writing the logic, I'm not doing the something. So that is the one thing. The another definition. So let me go for another definition. So this is the better definition of machine learning. What it says actually, a computer algorithm is said to learn from the performance or measure of P with the experience E with some classes tasks T. So what exactly, let me explain this actually. This is some kind of a keywords. So there are three terms are there. One is a experience, another is a task, another is a performance. So it's like if computer is get more and more experience and its performance on the task T will keep on improving. So if it is happening like that, then it is called machine learning. So if what is the experience? If your experience is increased and your performance on the task T is improves, then it is called machine learning. So for example, take the same example, house price prediction. So same thing, if say, if I'm giving one house information, so some kind of parameters, what kind of parameters? So whether the location of the locality of the house is a posh locality or some kind of a slum kind of locality, or near how near to shopping malls, how near to metro, how near to school, how near to classmates. This is the amenities near to that. And with this actually, this is what we have created the input. Input will be locality, the distance to shopping malls, distance to metros, distance to schools, distance to hospitals, and economy activity in that region, and area of the house, and this is a price. So now if I give 4 informations and I'm asking you to find out the output of the 5th data, then what is the performance at? What is the experience here? This data is the experience. The data what we're trying to provide is the experience. Experience means like previous information. So I have seen one house is sold, and that is my experience. Like, so I understood one house sold at that price, and that is my experience. No, I understood that. So this is the data is the experience. And what is the task here? Task is finding out the sale price is a task. So predicting what price it will be sold is a task. What is the performance? How accurate, how near to the actual value. So for example, if I have predicted house price will it will sell at around 1 crore, and actually it has sold at around 95 lakhs. Actually, it is very near to that. So performance is the loss is very, it's like difference between the predicted and this is very small. Or if I instead of 1 crore, if I predicted something like 60 lakhs, then difference is more. So performance is actually how near to the result. So that is the performance. So now what is that machine learning algorithm says actually? What it says actually, if you see the statement, if your experience is increased, if your experience means like if your experience is increased and your performance to the task T is improves, means like for example, instead of giving 4 data, if I give 100 data and my prediction for this house price, the prediction capability or the how much near to the true value is reducing. Means like initially like maybe around 30% difference is there, then it becomes 20% difference, then it will become 5% different, it has become 1% difference. It's like the price is only 1% here and there. Means like if I say 100, it will be sold at 100 lakhs or 1 crore. So maybe plus or minus 1%. Means like it may be sold at 99 or it may be sold at 101. So this is plus or 1 minus difference. So then this is very good. So initially maybe 10%, maybe initially maybe 30%. If you give more and data, if you give more data instead of 4 data, if you are given 40 data, and if difference 30 plus or minus 30%, it goes to 20%, then it becomes 10%, then it becomes 5%, then it becomes 1%. Then I am saying that like machine is learning, because then we call this kind of program is called machine is learning, because the performance for the task is improving with the improvement in the experience. So that is the formal definition of the machine learning. Any question here? Anybody is not understood the formal definition of the machine learning and why we are calling it is machine learning? Any question here? Any questions? I hope you understood correct why we are calling this is a machine learning and why we are calling the other normal way of programming is a traditional programming. Any questions? Okay, let us go a little bit further. So, now, so what we can say, so this is some cartoon. I learn from everything automatically from experience. Can you learn? So see what we learn, actually we learn from our experience. No, we learn. So we try to do something, we are trying to play cricket. Also we learn from the experience. Maybe first time you will get bored. You don't know how to play with the ball actually. Then we'll start learning, and then we'll keep on. When you start playing more and more, then you start understanding the ball, how it will go and how it will shift, how it will turn, all those things, and then you start hitting. Now, so if you are experienced, if you automatically like there is nobody to train now, so automatically like you just start playing it. Actually, it will automatically start your mind start thinking and you start reacting and you start learning. So that is how human beings. Then this person is asking actually machine. So can you learn like that? So machine also says that yeah, yes, I can also learn from the past data. It's like here he doesn't, he has a sensor, so he can view the ball pitching and he can hear all those things. But here machine doesn't have sensor organs, so we should be providing the information as a data. If you give the past data, then machine start learning. So that what machine is saying actually, I also learn from the past data. So that is what it is trying to say. And there is a difference between earlier also there was machines, but now also there are machines. Like there is some differences there. So earlier also we had a robots actually. So robots which also work something automatically, correct? But that robots are the machine learning or AI robots are different. So what is the difference actually? Those robots are something we programmed. So it's like, for example, if I program something to behave something certain way, so the robot will be behaving certain way only, even though he's getting failed or whatever it may be. So those robots are programmed one. But when we say machine learning based robots or AI based robots, so what happens actually? It keep on improving. Like so, if you use this robot and try to do some activities, and over a period of time, the smartness of the robot is keep on increasing. So, but earlier robots, how many, like you use 1 year, you use 2 years, if you use 3 years also, the performance is same. So that is a traditional programmed robots. That is instant we program the robots, but machine learning robots are something. So what happens actually? How exactly the machine will learn? For example, it is trying to do some activities. Like, so for example, this is a place. From this place, it has to something that like take some goods from this place and it has to put here. So now what happens actually, like, okay, first we trained it to go here state, but in between, if you have given something a block, so it will start understanding. Okay, it will first initially fell down because it doesn't understand the block, but next time it understands the block and it will start navigating and it will go here. So this is what is the AI based machine learning. It's like they start learning based on the experience. So it's like if you keep on using again, instead of this block, if you start another given block, so instead of going this route, it will go this route and will keep that box. So this is all keep on learning actually. So that is how we call these kind of machines are called machine learning or AI based robots. So they are learning actually the way human beings learns actually based on the experience, based on the data. Experience is like if they stuck it or they fell down or something, that like if you are going here and the obstacle comes, then they started navigating this side. So here still obstacle is there. Okay, then they'll start navigating this way. So this is how they start learning. So we'll show you some examples later on. Maybe you have seen some robots walking or like robots dancing, all those things kind of robots which are AI based robots. So those are learning. They keep on learn. They keep on improving their performance as much you use them. So for example, another example will be Google search engine. So initially Google also started some kind of searching, translating one language to another language. Maybe a lot of errors were there, but you are using Google from last 20-30 years, that the translation is like one language to another language, as performance is improved over a period of time. So that is the reason that logic, the algorithm, what is translating one language to another language is a machine learning algorithm. So because as in how many times you use, how much you understand actually, like uses that tools or softwares or something, its performance keep on improving. So how the performance keep improving? So what we used to do, so Google used to ask, so for example, this is one language, English to Kannada you are translating. Then Google used to ask whether the translation is right or it is not right or something. Can you give suggestions? It's like, so it is trying to check whether the output is right or not. And if output is not right, then what is the right output, and it will keep correcting its logic. So that is how the machine is learning. So all these algorithms, which the performance of algorithm keep on increasing by experience, are called machine learning algorithms or AI algorithms. Any questions here? Okay. So this is the traditional definitions we discussed. And okay. So in simple word, if I have to say, so as you expose to the data is increasing, so initially maybe the performance will be low, very low. And if the amount of a data or experience is improving, the performance is improving. So this is what is the traditional, this is what this kind of algorithms or programs are called machine learning things. So because as you expose more and more data, the performance is increasing. So this is how the machine learning works. Any questions here? Okay. So there are so many examples are there. So I will not go here. So see, robots playing ping pong. So this is the robo playing the table tennis. So this robo, so it is not programmed, but it is machine learning, AI based robo. It is trying to learn. So if you use this robo to play with multiple players, and this performance of this robo improves over a period of time. So that is how the machine learning model looks like. Any question here? So anything. So anything, if you keep using more and more time, the performance of those softwares will be improved over a period of time. So that is how that is the reason we call it the machine learning. So any questions here? Okay. There is one term which is called machine learning, and the second term is called artificial intelligence. what is the artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is actually, we are intelligent, correct? We are, human beings are intelligent because we think, we talk, we communicate, we calculate, we do a lot more activities. So communication is one intelligence, playing music is one intelligence, then running, or like that is a kinetic intelligence, and mathematical logical thinking is another kind of intelligence. Like we have so many intelligence, correct? So we are, human beings are intelligent, and if machine is trying to mimic our intelligence, so for example, you take Alexa. What Alexa or Google OK is trying to do is, like, they are trying to mimic our communication intelligence. So means like, if you talk to Alexa, Alexa is trying to understand what you are trying to say, and then it is trying to do that activity. So the, sir, for example, if I'm trying to say switch on a light to a kid, so kid understands what is that switch on a light. So then it will go to the switchboard and it will turn on that actually. And that is how we communicate and the other person understands. So that is the reason human beings is that. If Alexa, if you say that switch on a turn on a light, and if Alexa understands that what I'm trying to say, and then is doing that activity, then that is the communication intelligence. So the machine is trying to mimic the human being's intelligence. So that is the reason we call that as a artificial intelligence. It's like, that is not natural intelligence. We are natural intelligence, but machine is artificial intelligence. So any kind of, like, so Alexa is a communication thing. So now I showed you the one other diagram here. No? So this is the sports kind of thing. So the playing is a kinetic. Means like why it is called kinetic. So how, which speed that ball is hit and how it is spinning, all those is the kinetic energy. No? So if it comes at this much force and hit the ground at this much spin, so that is the kinetic kind of logic or equations. So if machine is trying to understand, we understand now if ball is hit to this board. So for example, so you are playing in the table tennis. So now if you hit the ball with this angle, with this much speed, so we know that like how much it will jump. So we understand that, correct? So his machine is trying to understand the same thing and trying to play. That is a kinetic intelligence. So then that machine is called artificial intelligence. And what is the other thing? So logical thinking or mathematics, like if we do some mathematical equations like squaring of a number, cube of number, whatever the mathematical thing, this machine is trying to solve those things, then it is artificial, because mathematical logic it is also. And if we play the music, is machine also trying to play the music, then that is how it's called AI. So machine also plays a music. So we will show some examples which programs are AI is AI based music. So these musics are created by the machine. So let me show you some videos which music are generated by the AI. This music is generated by the AI. I will answer this actually. So this machine, this music is generated by the AI. So I will also show you that robot playing. So these are the robots, AI based robots. They are started dancing to the music. The way we have the capability to dance on the tone, correct? So yes, machine is also started dancing to the music. So that is our intelligence. No, by somebody is playing music, then we'll start dancing. So our dance style is automatically like the better the way we start thinking. No, something similar to that. If machine is trying to do, so machine also intelligent. So these is machines are these kind of machines are called robots, are called AI based robots actually. So because they are intelligent like the human beings. So that is how we call that as a AI. So artificial intelligence based systems. Any questions here? Can you set a style of some actor dance in the yes, yes. So that is how, see, if you have to set some actors dance, what is that actually? What is that history? What is that experience? Which experience you are trying to train the machine? So if you do all those dance step, So music and is dance step of that actor to the system and robo, and let robo understand that, and it will be trained based on that style. So possible. See, that is what is the experience, no? So which actor experience you wanted to ask that robot to copy, it will do that. So that is absolutely fine. So that is the reason, no, they're the smart, no. So you can also copy the one person actor style. So machine also can copy one actor style. It is not that like it can't copy. Let me show you one more thing. Okay, let me show you. So this is actually Donald Trump style is done by the AI. It's like AI is trying to speak the way the Donald Trump is trying to speak. So let us see that. See, this is trying to speak the way the text, the speech of that Donald Trump is created by AI. So it's like how the Donald Trump's trying to speak, what kind of terms or what kind of words he will use, and what subject he will talk. Based on that, like AI is also writing the script. So you said no. So style. So it is a style of a one person, not in the dance, but it is about the speaking style. Anything you can copy. AI can learn anything. So here, this example is about how he speaks. The AI is trying to speak the same way. So fine. So let us go to the thing. So now another question, what was that now? So now there are two terms are there. One term is what is the artificial, one is AI, another is a machine learning. So AI is a superset. AI is a superset. Means like all kind of intelligence will come into picture. So also apart from that also, there are something else also which are part of artificial intelligence called expert systems, all the things. So AI is a superset. The machine learning is a subset of that artificial intelligence. So machine learning is a part of an artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is much more than the machine learning, but machine learning is subset. In the machine learning, something called a deep learning is subset of the machine learning. So what is the deep learning? What is the machine learning? We'll discuss a little bit later. So I hope you I answers your question. So is not. So see, artificial intelligence is a bigger subset which does lot more things. So which does lot more things. It has lot more components other than the machine learning. So expert system is there, genetic algorithm is there, so many other things. So what exactly it is trying to say is artificial intelligence actually mimicking the human beings intelligent. So either it can mimic using the machine learning algorithms, or it may be experts kind of systems, or because of another kind of systems actually. But the systems becomes intelligent just like a human being. So machine learning is actually based on the machine learning kind of concepts. So we'll discuss that actually. What is exactly machine learning algorithms, all those things like we'll discuss that later on. So fine. So let me. So I think 11. So this is what is the thing. So basically, machine learning is a subset of AI. DL is subset of machine learning. So what is the deep learning? Also, we'll discuss in bit like a later on. So, but just we'll try to give some difference here. But we will be discussing the deep learning in another model, but not here because this is all about machine learning. But I will try to give some kind of difference between the machine learning and the deep learning thing. So let us see that like what exactly the machine learning and deep learning. So to explain this like something like a feature extraction I should be explaining. Let me explain that another way. For example, I said you that like same example I'll take housing price. No, housing price we discussed, correct? Housing price. So what exactly the human beings does? For human beings, no need to give any information, correct? So if he goes and visit the house, automatically he will check all those information. What is the type house, how much is the construct, all those things he will, his visually you can understand. But what for machine, what we should be giving? So we should be giving the features of this house. What is the features of this are representation of this house. So for example, if I ask you, who are you? You will say, I am so and so. I born in this. My date of birth is this. My education is this. I am studying in here. So all this is about you. So something that is a representation of you. So when I ask, who are you? So something similar to what is this house? Then what is the representation of this house? House is okay. House is at this location, past location. House is constructed at 2018. House land area is something like 2000 per square feet. Construction area is 4000 square feet. It's like 2 floors or something like what are 3 floors. And this area is location. These are the called features. These are called features of this house. Machine learning needs the features. So what is that? Then we get the people who is past to present by AI. So we can get the people who is past to present by AI. I didn't understand this question actually. We'll discuss later. Okay. What I'm trying to say here is actually machine learning algorithms, whatever I'm trying to machine algorithms needs the features. So somebody has to extract that feature. So what is that feature? So this is the features of house. So the locality, that is the past locality is one house. Year of construction, that is another feature. Then land area is another feature. Then construction area is another feature. And proximity to the amenities, that is another feature. So this feature somebody has to extract. Who has to extract? Human beings, we should be extracting that. And we should be creating a data. So we should be creating a data to the machine to understand. So what is the, I will be giving something like this actually. So I have extracted these features about the house. So locality, distance. So I have extracted these features and I have created this information, and then I'm trying to feed to the machine. So machine learning algorithm needs somebody has to extract these features, whatever you're trying to do, and we need to feed to the machine. So then machine will build the algorithms or logic or program. So that is the machine learning. So in the deep learning, in the deep learning, that is not necessary. Deep learning, that is not necessary. So automatically you can see, for example, if you are to say that like whether this image is car or not a car, so somebody has to extract feature of this. So it's like, please mute, uh, please mute. So car or not, it's like it is of this. So in the machine learning, if I say if I give an image and I need to identify, the system has to, machine has to identify whether this is a car or not car, then somebody has to extract feature of this car. What is the feature of car? Car feature may be number of wheels are there, and what is the length, dimension, what is the width, and all those pictures, like, so all information which is representing. If I look the car, then I should be able to identify. So it's width, all this, like windows or doors and all those things. Those are the features. So we should be giving, extracting that feature, and we should be giving. What is a deep learning? Deep learning, just you are giving image. So machine itself extract the feature which are important to that. So machine itself is extract. So that is the difference between the deep learning and the machine learning. In machine learning, we need to extract the feature and we need to give the features to the machine. So machine will try to do the something. The deep learning, that is also not necessary. So if you just give an image and machine itself understands what are the important features to classify this as a something like a car or not. So it's like it is more nearer to human beings. So for some human beings, nobody will give the data, correct? You just see it and you can understand it, you can learn something. No? So that is called deep learning. So deep learning and machine learning look like a different. In deep learning, there is no need to extract the features. You directly feed the information. So the machine itself is able to extract the important features. So I hope understood. And artificial intelligence is a superset of these things. So any question? Anybody not understood what is the machine learning and deep learning? Any questions? We'll discuss about how this happens. We'll discuss how to build those kind of deep learning model or machine learning. But this is a difference, key difference. Any questions here? Any question? Okay. So now question comes about, okay, we understood what is deep learning, little, and another thing. So whatever when you say machine learning or deep learning, they are based on the neurons. So neurons is it is also a neuron is something that like the human beings has a nerve or neuron systems. No, so it is a simulation of that kind of things. So we'll also discuss in detail that in the deep learning session, what is meant by neuron and other thing. But they also try to this each neuron trying to mimic the human beings brains neurons actually. So machine learning and deep learning also uses these neurons to do this activity. We'll discuss that later on. But just to remember, there will be some kind of a neurons. Everybody was like either it is a machine learning or because they also has to think the way we are thinking. No? So this is what they will use. So we'll discuss that in the later. So for any questions, anybody has any questions about what is AI and what is machine learning? Why we call machine as machine learning? What is meant by deep learning? Any question? The next. After post no. See, the thing is, if you wanted to have one person AI to mimic about that thing, so you should be training that. If you have those persons' videos, audios, and all those things, and how he thinks, how he talks, everything, then you can make a robot to mimic him. So you can have that person. The robot can be making the person, whatever the person is there. But thing is like you should be able to have those data or experience something about that person to feed to the robot. It's like robot can behave something similar to that person. And later on it start interacting. It's like you can have another machine behaving about that person. That is possible, but it is not that easy to do. That is very, very complex kind of scenarios, but researches are happening that way. So some persons wanted to think about that. That is also happening. It is possible. It is possible, but you need a lot of complex kind of systems, hardware, and all those things to build those kind of scenarios. But that is possible. Later on, things will happen. So people wanted to have remember that person or something. They can create their copy of that person into a machine, and then that can be possible. So it is possible. It's not that. See, it is not impossible. It is possible, but it is difficult. So fine. So let us go to now. The next thing what I'm trying to say here is actually now, is it machine learning or artificial intelligence or deep learning is a very, very new concept. Maybe you may be hearing about this maybe past few years, but actually the machine learning or artificial intelligence or the deep learning is not the new. They were there from 1950 or 1940 or before that actually. But why was not that active, not that taken the prime seat? Because of lot of things. There were no data were there. There were computers were not that efficient to compute the bigger data. Usually like no machine learning or AI, deep learning, everything is dependent on the data. The data is very, very huge. So for example, if I have to make one person, see for example, I showed you Donald Trump something, no? So to make machine to write a speech about Donald Trump, so if you give just 4 statement of Donald Trump, it's not possible to AI to write a script of Donald Trump. So you should be giving tons and tons, maybe around 1 lakh, 10 lakh, maybe 1 crore kind of documents or speeches similar to the Donald Trump, and you have to train. So to train that, so many big complex machine has to be there and all those things. No, so the data should be very huge, and then the computation power of the machine should be very that big to compute it and then get trained and something. So that is a requirement. Earlier days, even though the techniques, machine learning, the AI and all those things were there earlier, but availability of data was not there. So there is no framework to collect that. Like, so now we have a big data, we have a cloud where this big chunk of data is stored. Earlier, like all individual systems and servers or something, so they don't have that much capacity to store the big data and all those things. And the big data is actually unstructured, structured kind of data. It's like you can store videos, audios, images, any kind of a data. So those mechanism or softwares or the tools or things were not there earlier time. And since that big data storage and big data availability is not there, so systems like machines were not that good, so their performance is very very bad. So that is the reason they were not prominent, they were not become prominent. Now the big data is there, cloud computing is there, cloud systems are there, and big computation is there, like GPU, TPU, multiple GPUs, like 1000 cores, 10,000 cores, billion cores kind of computation power is there. So because of that reason, and network speed, so computation speed, data storage, and storage mechanism, all those things are there. Because of that reason, this that machine learning and deep learning started becoming a more and more prominent. So it is not that like it is completely new, but they are become more prominent, and more softwares, more and more tools are developed to write these softwares, like so machine learning or something. So this is all happened in the recent time. So this is not the earliest, because of enormous storage, enormous computing power, new algorithms are developed. So now, because in last 4 to 5 years kind of things, deep learning, machine learning, AI become more and more prominent, and more solutions are developed on that. So if you wanted to see the history, so 1950 they started actually. Perceptron is a neuron, I said. No? So this is defined or identity, like discovered in 1957. So, and if you see the deep learning, image processing or image classification, that LSTM is 1997. So all these things, but usually like 2014 or 2016 onwards, the machines becomes more and more efficient, or computation power increased, big data and cloud, all the things. Then the performance of these deep learning models are beating the human beings. So it's like robots are becoming more and more smarter, and they started dancing something similar to human beings. So that performance is increased more and more, and people start noticing that machine learning and AI can do a lot of wonders, and people started using them. So that is all happened in the recent past. So I think we also see that like no, the AI based system is trying to play. They are playing with the chess or AlphaGo, whatever the game, and they started beating them actually. The chess player or that AlphaGo games actually, the AI started beating the robots playing table tennis, started beating the table tennis star actually, or the number one player. So that is all happened recent time, because the machines are become more and more capable and more data available, and the intelligence level of that systems are becoming more comparable, or it is better than the human beings. Then the people start noticing about machine learning and deep learning. So any questions here? We'll stop here. We'll discuss in the next class, like about little bit like deeper into the machine learning. Any question here? Any question here? So any questions? See, one thing is, no, so somebody who has already paid the program fees, like so program fees around 10K, but we have been discount over 5K. So whoever is paid the program fee, all these videos I said, no, so we will be creating a Google Classroom. So in the Google Classroom, the materials will be available, and video sessions will be there, and short videos about the sessions. Like, so I can't cover a lot of things in the 100 hours, no. So I will be creating small videos about what is meant by deeper kind of videos about explaining something. So those short videos and books, and whatever the code or like sample codes we'll be explaining in the class, the code or code files, everything will be available. So everything will be, you will be giving access to that. So materials, videos or short videos, extra classes, books, code files and everything. So everything will be available and you can access it actually. And initially only 2 sessions, like 2 sessions or 2 weeks will be free. But anybody who wants to continue the sessions, they have to pay around 5K and continue the classes. So this initially 2 classes will be free for anybody can join actually. So after that, like only the person who paid the fee of the program can continue. And who paid the thing, everything materials will be accessible for him. Any questions? So I hope you understood it actually. So every session will be about 2 hours. So I think 11 o'clock we started. So this first session is like only 1 hour, but next every session should be 2 hours. So next Saturday, like next Sunday also, the sessions will be of 2 hours, and 2 sessions per week means like 4 hours. And after every 2 sessions, I will be giving some assignments or some quizzes. You should be answering that actually. So every session means like after 2 sessions, we'll be uploading the quiz materials and everything. So this is how the process will be there. And if you don't have any questions, we will stop the session today. But next Sunday, next Wednesday, it will be 2 hour sessions, 7 to 9 p.m. And next Sunday, also it will be 2 hours actually. This is the first session, only 1 hour. Okay, then. Thank you.